shows on the face of the planet.
Yeah, it's about that time, you already know. Turn the speakers up, man, it's time to start the show. Sean Tanner, Ryan Righteous, DJ Jeremiah. We bringing the heat, man, this joint be fire like, bruh. We in the field, we in the field, bruh. We in the field, we in the field. Just put it in work, we raising the bar. You tuned in to the track stop.
Yeah, back in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. What's good?
All right, this episode is sponsored by Nectar Distribution. Great things happening with Nectar. We've got some new ideas we're going to be rolling out for Nectar, so make sure that you go to www.nectar.trackstars.com so that you can check out how you can become a part of the Trackstars Nectar deal.
Yeah, man. So another live show up on YouTube. Last week was amazing. Thank you guys for showing up on YouTube and giving us support and donating, which is awesome for us. So keep telling your friends that we're going live on YouTube now. Periscope, we're going to phase out. Sorry, you guys. So follow us on YouTube. YouTube.com/TheTrackStars is where we're going to start live streaming from exclusively soon. So today I wanted to start with a concept I came up with, and we could take it different ways, but what really kind of stuck in my mind was this idea of, and this is a series, right? So we do this thing called the Death of series, right? Mm-hmm. So the death of the stank face. Do y'all know what that means?
No.
The death of the stank face. No. So it used to be really important as a lyricist back in the day to say something like a metaphor or something clever that people wouldn't have thought of themselves. And whenever put yourself in the studio, and like, let's say Rick Sincere is in the booth, you could see him, he says something and everybody in the other room is like, what? Mm-hmm. The stank face. Like when something happens where it's like, oh my gosh, what? Yeah. Now I don't see that much anymore. I think the metaphors that I'm hearing nowadays aren't as clever as they used to be, and people are getting applauded for metaphors to me that aren't as good. I feel like we're forgetting how good some things used to be, where it was like, man, I never would have thought of that. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I think the stank face culture, I guess, would still
rap probably.
It still exists in battle rap, because in battle rap, if you're not able to produce the stank face line, then you lose the battle. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. And so that still exists, but it's there. In the music industry right now, I believe the vibes are back. Mm-hmm. And so as long as your song vibes and it's able to kind of, go along, you don't have to say something extremely crazy in order to get people to kind of rock with you or vibe with you, because the vibe is the overarching thing right now.
Yeah, I agree. And there's also it's the fact that that's what drives people, right? Like that whole crowd participation, that's what drives the artist, the performer, and it's all a part of the entertainment. So I mean, yeah, you feel it phasing out maybe a little bit, but I think it's still relevant in some places. I think it's still relevant in spoken word. People when you say something in spoken word, and everybody's like, that's dope.
That dude Toby, in Igwe, he's still a part of the stank face thing, and I think that's kind of why he's blowing up the way he is really quickly. Yeah. Is because he drops a bunch of stank face bars. You know what I mean? And so I give him that.
Yeah, some of the things that people are impressed with now, I'm like, man, that wouldn't have done it.
You know who's
in the 90s?
You know. I think another reason why it kind of died down, because of Wayne, the death of Wayne, almost.
He used them all up.
Yeah.
He literally said every possible metaphor.
Yeah. Wayne's not dead.
But he stopped doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I experienced it early with Drake too.
Early Drake, he did a couple.
Drake will still drop a few of those.
No.
Yeah, he will.
No.
Yes, he will.
No.
Drake will still.
Y'all keep fighting me on this, but I'm telling you,
Drake will still drop a couple bars that you like, oh, snap, what was that?
Question is, I know y'all are talking about this, but as artists yourselves, are y'all still dropping them?
To be honest, no.
You want to battle?
No, it's a good question.
I'm asking the question. I'm asking the question. Like,
really,
as artists, do you think it's an important
honestly,
part of your craft?
I think
it's a really great question.
I think as FMG, we probably do it more in FMG.
Yeah, than I do as an independent artist.
Yeah,
because me, I don't like. Honestly, you listen to my whole album, you'll hear some stank face. Like me, you'll hear a few. Yeah, you'll hear
Today's stank face, not
Yeah.
the past. You know what I mean? Like,
Nah, like there's at least
You
one
think-
or two bars. Yeah,
you
there's at
think of
least one or
today?
two bars on the whole entire album where you'll kind of go back, man, that's a
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe one or two.
I think what we're really talking about is because usually the stank face came from the metaphor. Now people,
Yeah.
it expanded to, oh, that beat is hot. Ooh.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beat can make somebody's face screw up, or, you know, the vibe, people like, yeah. But I'm talking about when somebody says something so clever that you're just like amazed by it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of that.
okay,
anymore.
so what's the last time you heard that? What song, what artist, when the last time you heard somebody say, ooh?
Most recently, for me, it's been Mouthpiece.
Mouthpiece
Okay.
can do it, yeah.
Yeah,
It's been
Mouthpiece does it. I hear it a lot from Toby. Like whenever I listen to him, I hear
He
it.
has those.
He has dumb,
those.
ill, like yo, what was that?
Yeah.
Like, I hear it from him.
Yeah. He can do it. I don't know. It's just something about it. It's a feeling you get when somebody does a metaphor that you expect.
Yeah.
You know when somebody's rapping in a room and everybody's saying it with them.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
too expected. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it's something that's like you compare something to something that nobody's thought of
It's
before.
stuff Kanye used to do.
Yeah.
Nah.
Kanye.
You know,
Kanye
Fab
did it.
But it
Fab
happens-
did that
did it.
very
Kanye
It
well.
happens with freestyle.
Fab.
Say again?
Fabulous.
It happens in
Fabulous
freestyle.
was great at it.
You know who else does it? Sicily.
Sicily, yeah,
Sicily.
Sicily can do it. I'm talking about let's go back to early 2000s, 90s. That's when I remember really hearing that stuff. And Jay used to do it. I'm trying to think who else would I.
Would
Mm,
Nas
I think
do it?
Andre
Would you give
did it.
Nas that? Yeah, Andre.
Lupe used to do songs that were entire metaphors that make you go. Andre 3000.
But that's not like.
Andre 3000 to me was more of his flow made me do that, not
Really?
necessarily the
Yeah,
metaphor.
yeah.
His
Yeah.
flow was like, ooh, Eminem's flow. It was a flow thing for them, not necessarily.
Yeah, bars.
Cassidy was like
Cassidy
the metaphor
was
guy.
like-
Yeah,
I'm hearing.
People
Jada-
say Lord
Jada
Banks
Kiss.
too.
It
Jada
said
Kiss.
Jared Sanders on all
East
three.
Coast. All East
Big
Coast.
L.
It said Jared
Big
Sanders.
L had them stank face
Yeah.
lines.
It said Jared
Jared
Sanders,
Sanders
on
can
all
do it.
three
Yeah.
of his singles. He's out right now. He says he's dropping stank face bars right now.
And there's artists that they go for it. Like Jared Sanders is a lyricist. Like he's trying to say something interesting. And I guess I want people to start thinking about, like, I hate saying something or coming up with something that I've heard before.
Your sister
I'm
pushing
always trying to think of something that I haven't heard before. I want to do something new.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's some metaphors that are getting recycled a lot.
That's a dope bar.
Comparisons that are getting recycled and they're starting to become like, oh, okay, yeah, you know.
you. Yeah, I would pretty much say a lot of the God Over Money camp, they're very good at doing bar related type, like bars. You know what I mean? So I mean, like the Daytons, the Bizzles, Say Lotta Corner, Seven, all those people, they really
They
good.
dropped
At
the stank face bar.
They do.
I know Sean does.
See, somebody said Big L like with a question mark.
You know,
Is
people
that
don't know who Big L
Is
is.
that up for discussion? Yeah. Oh, y'all don't know who he is. Okay, got you.
They don't know who
The
Big
the
L is.
flex freestyle alone
Yeah.
What
is
about
all you need
Stones?
to hear. Huh?
I'm
Jim
seeing
Stones.
Stones. What about
Them
Stones?
Stones his flow is what's it makes you do that. It's the rapid delivery that makes you do that. I don't know. He may do some metaphor stuff too, but
No,
I-
you're right. I think for me it's more.
there's
of the
there's
delivery.
flow rappers, then there's metaphor rappers, then there's vibe rappers. There's all kinds of different rappers. I'm just talking about the metaphor rapper. Of course, metaphor still exists in the battle rap world, like Loso
Yeah.
and them. But I'm talking about on a track saying something that I'm like, I gotta rewind it and hear, like, how did you get to that? Like,
Yeah, I
it's
think-
amazing how
yeah,
you
yeah.
got to that.
I do think like the early 2000s and 90s the last time I was like, oh snap, say that again. Let me rewind that. Like,
And metaphor and punchline is similar, but not exactly the same. Punchline is like you have a setup, then a punch, a setup, then a punch. Metaphor can be the whole verse. You see what I'm saying? Like
right.
you can extend the metaphor out. So it's like a mix between metaphor and punchline. The punchline has to hit for the metaphor to work, but sometimes the metaphor could get stretched out,
yeah.
and you don't even realize he's leading up to something that's gonna make you go, "Oh snap! What was that
true.
about?" So I don't know. I just want people to be able to fuse that with vibe. Like if you could vibe and do that, like Drake tries to do, that to me is like the perfect match. Like get the vibe right, because a lot of the punchline guys can't make a song.
Drake did say about something about Charlamagne that was like, oh snap, on his newest album.
I mean, Drake does this a lot. I don't know why y'all don't give
He
him
used
that
to.
credit. I don't know why y'all don't give Drake that credit, but that's cool.
Okay, so but I just it's been a while, and maybe we need to also do the art of the stank face, because there's an art to a metaphor, to where it's not obvious, but it has to make perfect sense. If it doesn't make perfect sense, because in the metaphor you're comparing two things that aren't necessarily similar.
Yeah.
It has to make sense in this world and in this world. Sometimes people do metaphors where it makes sense with what you're trying to say, but the thing you're comparing it to is loose. It's not a perfect match.
Give an
I
example.
wish
You need
I had
examples,
some.
man.
If y'all could think of some hot metaphors, throw them in there. I wish I had
Your
some
sister
examples.
just dropped one on you. Where she said, "Go back," and she said, you talked about Netflix and chills. When I flick the neck, that's when it's real. Like that makes sense on a bunch of different sides.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Mhm.
So
The
yeah,
Netflix and chill is like in person. You know what I mean? Like that's a real thing. But your issue is when you're on. Well, I don't know if it's you, but your issue. Some guys' issue is when they get on the internet, right? That's when it gets real for them. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah, it's actually three things I was trying to do with that.
Run it.
Netflix and chill, right? I can't remember the rest of the verse, so I don't remember exactly what I was doing. But the other thing is Netflix, right? So I was thinking about on the boat,
fish.
the fishers of
Yeah,
men,
yeah.
right? When Jesus
And
was
then reeling them in.
on the other side. So Netflix, right? So
Yeah.
you're pulling in. So I'm trying to see. It has to make sense. What I say has to make sense in all the things I'm trying to compare it to.
Yeah.
If it doesn't quite make sense, you have to do something else. Don't try and force it, or so people won't. It won't resonate as true if it doesn't make sense.
Here's a
Exactly
question.
why I stopped battling y'all.
Here's a question.
Hard.
People are naming other Christian rappers or like people in this genre.
Yeah.
Are we overlooking them, or are we? Because people just naming stuff like
Swoop
this,
is good.
This,
Yeah.
this,
Swoop,
this.
yeah,
Swoop
yeah.
is Show
Yeah,
Baraka. This,
yeah.
and it's like
And
we
Jay
just
Gibbon.
and we just like not.
My critique
remembering
is not.
nobody.
I'm not even commenting on Christian hip hop. I'm talking about in mainstream.
Mainstream.
I'm not
Yeah.
hearing the
Well, because the dominant
stank face
is
stuff.
Migos. Migos are the dominant style of
Sound.
music you're hearing on radio right now.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. Like the flow of Migos is the dominant sound. Even to the point where J. Cole like did almost a whole album using their style but doing it better than them. You know what I mean? Of
course.
So that's what I'm like. That's the dominance of what's going on. It's not just like to hear Fab or all of them on the radio is like almost harsh. I think Nicki tried to do that recently. I heard she has a song called Chun Li, I think. I heard, and she's trying to do some stuff.
And again,
like that.
real quick, metaphor and simile is different. I'm not talking about when you're like, this is like this is like that.
Yeah.
That's just obvious.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when
And
you
that doesn't give you the stank face? Because some of those give me the stank face.
give me. Do you have? Maybe we should have
No.
done this another
I
time.
don't have a ready example for you. I just know the feeling I get
What,
when I hear one.
you remember the super duper flow that Big Sean kind of
Yeah.
came up with and Drake
yeah.
kind of took, and then other people tried it? That was a simile, but they set it up differently. Whereas instead of saying like they just said this. They
Yeah.
just did the comparison. Some of those worked, where it was like, oh snap, that is just like that. But nobody's doing it anymore because it's old.
Yeah.
So there, I don't know, something about the 2000s that people really focused on it, and I think Wayne was kind of the driver of that. Of everything had to punch for him. Like almost every line. If you go back to like
6'7",
Mega Man, 6'7",
Yeah.
Millie, every single line was a punchline, and they all were like comparisons of things that don't normally compare, but he
Yeah.
made them compare.
Yeah, every time
And that's the stuff that
I
I'm.
think about you when they're Millie.
Look, man.
He
Can you
got
get
in
off
trouble
that
listening
story?
to
Can you
Millie, right?
please get off that story? Nobody needs to read.
You remember the story you told?
No.
Were you like sitting in your car listening to a million
Yeah, at church.
at church?
And he's like, I
And
couldn't
forgot
get
where
out
you
the
were?
car. He's like, I couldn't get out the car.
Oh, you were late for service listening
You
to a
have to get
million.
that word.
Got to get the word in
Words.
before you go in.
Words. Had to get those words.
But that Millie was it was a combination of beat and words for that one.
Yeah,
And
Millie,
flow.
Millie
Yeah.
hit where it was just like
Yeah.
who thought of this? Like
I think
who
I get a
put
pass
this
for that.
together?
I think I get a pass for that.
Yeah,
don't believe
hallelujah,
so.
man.
I don't
No
believe so.
condemnation.
I don't believe so. So, if y'all could think of some metaphors, help me out. If any writers out here or people who appreciate metaphors, put them in the comment section on YouTube so I could read them throughout the show, so we could get some examples of what we're talking about. I want people to focus on Aaron Cole is focusing on metaphors more. I hear him, but like we need people that can do the vibe, that know how to vibe and make
Yeah.
songs,
Yeah.
but then they could throw some candy in there for people who like lyrics, like.
But is-
That stuff really helps.
But are we in do we need to throw the candy if they're not asking for candy?
There's people that are. I'm asking.
I know you are.
I'm asking for it.
But what I'm saying, like, okay, for example, somebody said Royce the 5'9", which
Yeah.
is true. Like, but that's for people our age and older that may like him. I don't think a lot of people that's young really dig Royce the 5'9" like that. Not saying they don't, but I'm just saying it's probably not a lot of people like they would dig.
I don't really know Royce
Drake.
the 5'9" and
See, that's what I'm
love him as
saying.
much.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that conversation we had with Caleb Mitchell and all of them in the studio, that brought out where
Caleb Mitchell.
that
he's
group
nice.
is
He can do
thinking.
it too.
Like
He's stupid.
they challenged everything we said was hot back in the day.
But again, that's what I'm saying. I agree with them. There is a different vibe. But if you can combine the vibe with the metaphor, to me, that's a home run. That's what Drake tries to do. Big Sean, J. Cole, like they win because they can combine those two things together.
Kendrick, yeah.
So they can.
Kendrick.
Chance.
I don't know about Chance as much as Kendrick. Kendrick drops a lot of stank face bars.
So yeah, I just to me that's the perfect
More
combination.
feeling.
Figure out how to make a good metaphor that's not obvious. It's just something I don't know how to explain how to do that, but there's a way to do it where it's just people can't predict what you're gonna say, but when they figure out what you said, it works.
Yeah.
It works, and it's just a sweet spot you got to hit to get to that. I don't know
I
how to
give you
explain
guys a
it.
quick plug. I remember you all did that a lot during Freedom Sessions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
the whole thing. It was
Yeah.
the whole point of it was to say
Show
stuff
off.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Man,
Yeah.
I miss Freedom
But
Sessions.
Destinations did it too.
Yeah,
Twisted.
spoken word, you can do it.
Twisted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the joint that we did? It was a bunch of us
And I
battling,
Oh yeah. I'm Fighting Temptation.
fighting temptation.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the name of it, but
Yeah, that was the name of it.
yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, that one was.
Don't
the
you dare agree.
Don't you agree or something?
Don't you agree,
But that one was purposefully. If you want to know what we're talking about, just search for Fighting Temptations.
No,
Don't you?
no,
just
don't.
look for Destinations, and you'll see a bunch of
Destination
our.
They say
show.
Aha Gazelle, but Aha Gazelle don't be dropping them stank face bars like
Nah.
that. Nah, I love Aha Gazelle.
But it's some people it's the flow. It's
I
their
do.
flow that makes it. Like Mama's House is just like it's the flow that he chose on it that makes you go, that was good.
yeah.
It's I don't
He
know.
drops a ton of bars.
I just
not-
want to hear more stuff that's undeniable.
You're right.
Undeniable, like, wow, I can't believe they thought of that stuff. Like when I was growing up, I used to really love comedy. I used to watch comedy shows and comedy specials, and I always paid attention to the comics that were able to say something that I wish I thought of. To me, that's the bar. If you say something that I wish I thought of, that's what gets my attention. If it sounds like something that I could have thought of or I've heard before, then it's like, nah, that's not it. That's
Yeah.
not it. Go back and work on that.
But is that specifically you? Because everybody doesn't think like some people like I wouldn't think of any of this stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's what
to
my
them,
problem is.
Normal bars are just like dumb bars.
I think that's maybe I'm older now. I've heard everything, but I'm hearing people get credit for stuff that is like, what? That's not interesting. That's not that great. Like that would not have gotten the reaction it's getting now back then.
I don't know, man.
I just maybe it's just me.
I think
simple
a lot
works.
of people still do this, but they're not in the spotlight. You know what I mean? Or they're kind of like older artists. So like a prime example, I ain't trying to push it, but like Fab and Jada when they did they what's the name? I was trying to do a line for line for that.
Yeah.
But like they were going off on the song. I was like, ooh, like you know what I'm saying? So but it's an older crowd that probably would like that more than a younger generation. You know what I mean? If you loving the Migos right now or you know the popular people and they're not giving you that, it's like I just like to vibe out like they said here. So it's like
You brought up another one though, diss tracks.
Diss tracks,
they're
yeah.
supposed
Diss
to
tracks
go-
is what
there
you
was a
gonna
lot
get.
of- yeah.
You got to get stank face bars in a diss track or it's
Yeah.
not a diss track.
Right.
Yeah, you got to get especially if it's live, like in a battle. Like you have to say things that that get the crowd. Like here's my problem. I think I was talking to Rick about this the other day. I feel like people are leaning on crutches now to get that same reaction that used to take a little bit more skill. People are leaning on do you remember this from when you were a kid line? You know what I mean? And it's like, oh yeah, I do remember that, yeah. And it's like that's not that good, but it invokes a memory in somebody's mind, so it gets them to cheer.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not that good, but it's cheating almost to me.
Yeah.
Memory bars, when you just it's a lot of what I'm hearing that people are impressed with now is just reminding you of your childhood. And I just don't think that's good enough.
That's not always the case. It's sometimes the case.
It's
but
either
not-
that
it's not always the case.
or gun bars.
But honestly,
it's like
but honestly, you
Gun
know what
bars
else
is
went?
something you got to deal with.
What went with that was the beat. The beat went with those type of bars. Like we said, a Millie beat is fire.
Yeah.
6 foot, 7 foot beat is fire. You know what I mean? So all those went together and it complemented Wayne so he can flow the way he flowed on it.
Nah, but what you're saying on any beat, right? If you're rapping to a beat, right?
Yeah.
Then you have a flow pattern that's matching that beat.
Yeah.
Now what he's concerned about is the lyrical content, not the flow. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so you can. Okay, for instance, some of these really nice vibe songs, they still have times where they say a lot of words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you're saying words in those moments, make bars that.
But what
kill
I'm saying
people.
is, okay, prime example.
I don't do it.
Rigor
but
Mortis by
some
Kendrick.
can.
oh jeez.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
The beat provides him to flow the way he's flowing.
But again, that's more of a flow song.
yeah, but
that's a
but
flow
he's
song.
still going off on it. He's
He
still
is.
saying
He
some
is.
stuff on it.
Yeah. I don't know. If throughout the rest of the show, post me some metaphors and I'll try and address them and explain what I mean by what's missing.
Last thing I say is features. Like you got some features that we've heard that the artist didn't come out with that we wish we had back. Like you say some stuff on some features. All of y'all have features y'all have done.
It's something about a feature that releases you from pressure. I don't know what it is. It's
Because
like-
you're not really speaking to maybe your audience, or you're not as careful. So
I
you
think
just
I
gotta
think part
go
of
with
it. There's two reasons. I think when you do a feature, you're doing it on a beat you're not necessarily used to, and it stretches you.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I think is just when, like for instance, Rick Sincere jumped on Off Brand, and it's just ridiculous, right? But I think it's because it's pressure because you want to make sure you deliver something that the artist that asked you to do it will respect. But it's also a little bit less pressure because it's not yours. I think Rick Sincere will stress over a song that he has to deliver because he knows his reputation is on the line with it.
Yeah.
But something about a feature lets you relax. It's like a pickup game in basketball. It's like you start doing and one stuff on a feature where you probably be more fundamental in a real game. You see what I'm saying? So that's a
Look
metaphor.
up and1 kids.
That's a
You don't know
metaphor,
what
guys.
And1 is.
That was an
Kids.
example of what I was talking about. All right, you in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Lego.
Do you know that we are a full-fledged media company and we're here for people like you? We can do mixing, we could do mastering of your song, we can get you an album cover, design your website, do your music video. Yeah, we do all of that stuff. So send us your information right now. Contact us at trackstars.com and let us help you get out there.
Mute that
Let's go.
when we go back into. No. I think that one because they still want to hear the music. They want to hear us talk. I think it's like that's fine. We'll see what they say.
Would you want me to put my camera up on that one?
It's up to you. No, you can't. You can't because we need that thing on top.
It doesn't happen to me?
We don't have any more of those.
Oh,
I would need to buy another one. I'm trying to buy one soon. Because if you're gonna bring it, then I'll know. Remember the other two cameras died. That's fixing it. So, but that would be better because it looks better. So can you see both of us in that shot? Okay. So he splits us now.
yeah,
Okay.
he's Ryan. No,
Good. I moved it because he was always in the way.
yeah, I'm good. I am good. I was thinking about I've never heard of Royce 5'9".
Royce 5'9".
Never heard of him. I would say the best example is Swoop.
Swoop is a
Yeah.
monster. He's a monster.
And then he said Jay Gibbons.
Gibbons can do it too.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad. 'Cause somebody walked in with $1 million right now. It's like, we'll give Trackstars $1 million. Brian Righteous can name one J. Cole song.
Oh man.
If you name what? If you name what?
Like 107.9.
One song from J. Cole.
One song.
You want me to send this? Artists, you want me to send this to the people that I send the other stuff to?
How y'all doing today?
Send it to me.
Y'all good? Tell us where you from.
You can send it to me.
You sent it to me.
Which one you talking about?
You just sent me what camera.
Joe Budden.
Oh yeah, if you can send it to them.
Reply all, because I just
Yeah. Which one did I send you?
Oh yeah.
full throttle for
Oh, yeah, I need to send you something.
Are you sending it to me or is that for birthday?
I'm trying to send it to you.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. That's how it used to be, and I couldn't figure out how to get it back.
I can't because I can't copy it.
It was always he said
I'll
this.
send, but this is for birthday.
Yeah, that's all about.
Yeah.
Okay,
I gotta send you one more.
My goal is eventually to get this, this, and this to like studio, like TV broadcast quality.
That last one.
It's gonna take us a while.
Did it only go to you?
It's just us three.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna send you one.
I see you, Maryland. What's up, South Africa? I see you.
South Africa in the building?
Texas. I see you. I see you.
Honda forever.
Oklahoma. Okay.
Texas. Ernest. What's good?
Florida.
You can stop talking about Drake now.
Huh?
You can stop talking about Drake.
What you mean?
That's it.
What up,
Why?
VA?
Why are you saying
Scorpion was not it, bro.
that? Scorpion was what?
Scorpion was not it.
What do you mean?
It was not the album that.
You don't like Scorpion?
No.
At all?
I like some tracks.
Hey, but isn't
But it's better than, I'll say this, it's better than More Life, it's better than Views.
yeah?
But that's not saying much.
Pretty good.
But is it breaking records? That's all I want to know.
Listen, see, you
No, I just want to know. No, I just have one question. I don't have a lot of questions.
Hold on. You act as if
I don't have a lot of questions.
No, hold on. You act
Just
as if the charting and everything is what
The charting and everything.
is what is going to signify his ability as a rapper. It doesn't. It just signifies that he's commercially successful and he's really good at his marketing. He's good with business wise. I'm not taking anything like that. As a rapper, no, that wasn't it.
The initial wave is popularity. The recurrent wave is bars.
Listen, he has quotes. He's great.
Call it Evan and
But he's not. There's nothing. I don't hear Drake now. I don't hear Drake now and go, ooh, that was no.
You don't?
Side A was just.
That's not true.
So I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Well, you know what? You already come in with a negative mindset.
No. I
So you're what we
Listen,
call
no.
you're what we call a research as a bias.
There's no bias. Listen.
There is bias. You already don't like Drake. You said that.
No,
We're
I'm a
discussing.
Drake fan.
You are not.
I am.
Not a
That's
true one.
why. No, I am. No, because I'm critical of him does not mean I'm not a fan. I'm critical
No,
of everyone
no.
I'm a fan of.
Before.
I was critical of the Celtics.
Before.
I was critical of
Here's what you said.
So don't act as if
No,
I'm not
you
critical
always
of
like you said this way before. You said this ain't. He ain't good. No.
Listen, no.
He ain't good.
No. His top album. Nothing was the same. Take Care and Comeback Season. Those were his 3 top projects as a rapper.
So far gone.
So far gone. So far that was good. But I'm saying those are the top 3 that I
can't
say.
trust your opinion.
What's up, Kenya?
I don't care. What I'm saying though is that
Killeen,
the hype
Texas,
by
Detroit,
Scorpion,
Michigan,
the hype of
Bronx, New
Scorpion,
York.
Hometown?
think that Side A was going to be comeback
Belgium in the
season.
building.
Nothing was the
Say
same.
some Belgian waffles earlier?
Side B was the Take Care level. I didn't hit those levels on either one of those sides.
Not true. No.
I didn't say it wasn't dope. I didn't say it wasn't good. It just wasn't up to that level. He had too much hype going into it. If he had just dropped it, no release, expectation like that, it may have been a little bit better. Huh?
Then your level of expectation would have been different.
Yeah, my level of expectation was to take care. My level of expectation is up.
Here's what I have to say. For you, that's
Prophet
your
Josiah said calm down. Calm down.
Huh?
Prophet Josiah said calm down.
Well, he knows I'm right.
If the prophet said it, you're not right.
I am right.
If the prophet said it, I'll chill a little bit. But listen, my friend. That's your opinion right now, right?
It's gonna be my opinion.
But your opinion is hard.
I think you know
your
what it
opinion
is.
is hard to take seriously.
No, you know what it is?
Because I understand your
Right.
initial bias.
This is what it is.
It's not a bias.
What's up, DMV?
Are we coming in? This is what it is. Your opinion, you make your opinion sound like it's fact when it's just your opinion.
No, I don't.
Yes,
You do. You saying Drake is done.
No, I'm saying you need to stop
Fact
talking to him about him like that.
All right.
It's time for the entertainment report with Jeremiah.
Yeah, man. Entertainment report time. Let's get it going. All right. We got some good CHH news going down. All right. Hog Mob's Illuminate is gearing up to release his new album Winds and Waves. It's released in late July. The project is a long time coming. Features collaborations from Bizzo, Seven, Ty Brazzle, Dakin, Joey Jewish. I can't say his new name. Joey Vantes and more.
Vantes.
I think it's Vantes.
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 Vantes. Okay. Illuminate also enlisted the help of Halo Hits, Poetics, and Juice Bangers, to name a few, for his production. So be on the lookout for that joint. All right, CBS is gearing up a show called God Friended Me. CBS is gearing up a premiere new series about an atheist who rejected the faith as challenged after he received a friend request from God. It will air on Sundays this fall. Brandon Michael Hall will be in it. His name is Miles, and it is an outspoken atheist who ironically receives a friend request on social media from God. When he accepts it, Miles is led to Kara Bloom, an online journalist who's also received a friend request from the God account. The experience transformed Miles and Kara into agents of change in the lives of those around them. And then Miles is still convinced that the whole thing is a hoax until he can actually prove that it's not. What's up?
Based on a true story?
I don't think it's based on a true story. I think it's just they made it up. The plot thickens as Miles' father is a pastor, try to convince his son to return to his Christian faith and stop pushing atheism on his radio program, which he says leading people to no hope, that have no hope in their life. So this is coming on CBS. Y'all look like this is not gonna work.
No.
Did a Christian create it? Do we know
I'm
that?
guessing they did.
Why your face turn when you said
You know what's so funny?
Because I'm starting to ask the question, like, are we really creative, or are we biting off other people and or what we see happening in the world? Like,
when you
do we
say
come up with our own concepts, like this is gonna be dope, or does somebody have to do it before we tag along?
Or are you saying that are we originally creative?
Yes.
And when you say we,
no,
you can't base all of us based on this one individual.
No. I'm saying, are we originally creative when it comes to bringing up the gospel or like displaying in a creative way?
What you're saying is you don't like this storyline.
I don't.
Got you. Okay.
All right, so
I got you.
So Steph has a new situation coming out when he's in Hollywood. He, of course, we know who he is. He has a team called Unanimous Media, which is looking forward to bringing some new positive stuff. He already has, which is coming out soon, some biblical stuff, like some biblical films for the holidays, for Easter, Christmas, and stuff like that. But he also has a project called Church Hoppers. And it's about a jilted groom who will be going from one church to another together with his friends in search of a woman he wants to marry.
Who'd you say was doing this?
Steph Curry.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I read recently. Steph Curry, because he got to deal with Sony Pictures to bring
Steph,
more positive
if you
stuff.
need some ideas, just holler at us.
Yeah.
Why? What's wrong with that?
I'm just saying.
Did you say it's called the Groom Hopper?
No, it's Church Hoppers.
Church Hoppers.
Does he go to church somewhere?
Yeah.
I'm just asking. Why are you taking everything wrong? I'm asking. Does he go to church?
Cold-blooded, Sean.
Yeah.
No, I think he's asking because of his high profile. No,
I wonder
seriously.
where his church
high
is.
profile.
No.
How do you go to church and people don't know about it or talk about it?
Nah,
right?
church people know how to act. They do.
Not all the time.
Yeah, some church people know how to act. If you see a celebrity at your church every single Sunday, you straight after a while.
That's true.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's not like I'm gonna see Steph Curry every single time. Be like, oh my God, you're here. I mean, not every time.
You would do it one time though, like just like
me,
that? Just like that. Oh my God, you're here.
I don't know.
Just like that.
It's Steph Curry, so maybe not to his
no
face.
Bass in your voice.
Maybe not. I don't have bass in my voice generally.
Only it has to be LeBron. If LeBron came to church, he'd go, "Oh my God, LeBron! It's LeBron."
It'd be a little higher than that. Yeah, we got it, baby.
It'd be your voice said.
But would I, not to his face, right? Just to myself, maybe like, oh my God, is that Steph Curry? Maybe so.
All right, man. Copy section. Rick Sincere, Beyond Belief pre-order. Tori Deshawn, Poopy pre-order. K-Drama, Weatherman pre-order. Jared Sanders, Hurry Up and Wait pre-order. Brandon P, Better Late Than Never pre-order. Jordan Armstrong, Too Blessed EP. Paris Chaz and Jeremena, Super Splash Brothers EP. Dylan Chase, OG single. Dayton, CHH Ain't Dead single. Mission, Thank the Lord single. And it's not a free download, but free playlist that you can get is Reach Records Summer 18, which is pretty good.
Yes, it's very good.
So, yeah, man, go get them joints, and that is it for me. In this.
All right, so this week I just been dealing with some different playlists, some random songs of CHH, and some of the artists include Jared Sanders, Derek Minor, No Big Deal, What Up RG, Aaron Cole, and there was a new one that I was just like really blown away by. Cortez. There's a song called Sticks and Stones I was digging.
Okay, so are we doing that now? We're doing recommendations for the week? Yeah. You kind of just did that. Okay. Yep. So do y'all? So what we're gonna start doing? I saw some people on Twitter this week already discussing what their recommendations are for the week. So post it in YouTube. It could be a song, it could be a movie, it could be anything that you've been kind of digging that you want other people to know about that may be kind of under the radar. You got one?
Yeah.
What you got?
I have two. There's two guys that I really like right now, man. And knows anything to anybody else. Xavier Sorrow.
Okay.
Like I heard his whole project. It's really dope. He has a few songs from there like Coasting, Space Jam. I like him. And then there's this one kid in Louisiana who just got a show with Aha Gazelle.
Wow.
His name Man. So Man is dope. And I'm saying it. I think I'm saying it's Man. It's Man, right? But I don't know how to say it right. But he's dope. I like that kid.
Okay.
And he does a lot of freestyles. Like on his IG, he does a lot of freestyles. I posted some of that. But then he has this one song. I forgot the name of that song. I can't remember right now. But he's dope.
Okay.
Those
You got one, Jeremiah?
I think it's a self-plug. I was doing this week, the whole make the album thing. Basically, if you follow us, go to Trackstar's Facebook page. We have the Trackstar's page, and I put a challenge out there to everybody to make the album. Basically, what it is take your favorite artist and put their discography out of all the songs in their discography and make a whole new album out of their discography. And I've been doing that like this week, like from mainstream to Christian, just trying to figure it out. And some people have been doing it, so I would say that. I think music-wise, I'm thinking what else I'm on real quick. I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. That's what I've been doing this week. That's what the focus has been. So yeah.
Yeah, I want to clear it up. His name is spelled like Main, so MAIN twice. And the song is called Shimmy. Shimmy is a song that one of the songs that I heard. I was like, yo, dude, the kid is dope.
You got one?
I just been listening to a lot of Caleb Mitchell.
Yeah.
His newest album. The whole album is amazing. I've listened to We Did It, 1K Few, and What Up RG. I was listening to that this morning. That's really been the main thing. Jaywana Sean, he's good as well, singer.
Okay.
KB.
Okay. Mine is not music related. Mine is actually, if you guys are, because I know a lot of you guys are creatives, and if you're into video production, check out, I use Final Cut. I think they also have motion plugins too, but go to a site called Pixel Film Studios. I just finished the video for my song Worry, and I used a lot of their effects in the video. So pixelfilmstudios.com if you want to download some Final Cut effects like transitions and what else they have, like overlays, text effects, all kinds of crazy stuff. So pixelfilmstudios.com. I got a ton of stuff from them, and it really helped me put the finishing touch on the video. It'll be good for you guys.
So when you say finished, you mean like
the video's
finished?
Release? Yeah.
When are we doing that?
We just showed it before you guys.
Okay. I'll catch you later. I wanted to be the first one to see the fun.
It's been in the Dropper.
I know.
You said you didn't want to see it.
You said to wait. You said you were almost done.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I finished it.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. You in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Lego.
Hey guys, this is Miracle from Trackstars. I wanted to make sure you all
Exclusive
know about
daily.
the official Trackstars universe.
I mean, because
If
I
you
would
like
love
a
to send
free
you something
Trackstars
around it. I
t-shirt,
was going to say,
free
can
merch,
we
discounts,
It'll be at
exclusive
least 2
content,
weeks. I'm
and
trying to get it done
direct
before we,
access to your
because
favorite
once his album comes
Really?
out, I want to focus on his
Make
videos.
sure to check out trackstars.com.
It could be whenever. I just thought it would be better because I want to focus on his videos now. So I want that to be out of the way.
But do you have anything for his video?
That's why I want to start working on that now. You know what I'm saying?
We don't have any footage of
Derek, yeah, I want to start
the
working
shooting.
on. Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
You said he's waiting on you.
I wanted that to be out. So everything after his album comes out will be all his stuff.
See the video footage.
But y'all can decide. It don't matter.
Spectacular.
I'm open. I just shot it.
But if you think there's something you can do,
See how it's coming.
we can talk.
Is he here?
I'll get it loaded, and then we can decide this release
I
that.
don't heard about this morning, but I ain't heard back.
Yeah.
You don't do much on is it the battle day? Yeah. You don't really do much on battle day.
That's cool.
That's part of his process.
Yeah, I can't do much until
Answer that.
if somebody said,
Yo.
I need help, I'm a rookie, where do I start rapping in the spec challenge? Where do I start?
You can start whenever you want.
Yeah.
You probably should wait. Well, no, rap whenever you want. If you want to like really wait to when like he would probably start, wait for the first like beat to kick in.
Yeah, and I made like preluded a little bit. Like if I was playing it, I may come in just a little bit before the first beat drop, right? So that way, there's a time if you have like a crazy bar as soon as the beat drops, that's a great spot. You know what I mean? But if you're just kind of getting started, then I will wait till the beat starts, you get a little comfortable, and then kind of dive in. Right? That's kind of if I'm beginning or just starting, that's kind of when I would do it.
Yeah, but you can start right away, just over the sample.
Just start whenever you feel comfortable, right? For this one, whenever you feel comfortable. And there's a feeling you get. If we're really comfortable to you, just go right in there, right?
You got too much.
Somebody gonna bring you some waffles, bro.
Waffles?
Yeah.
Word on hungry right now, bro.
No, I said, somebody said they from Belgium. I was like, oh, we had Belgian waffles earlier.
Word? They probably like, you ain't doing it right.
I keep skipping this one, but this might be a good day.
So come in after this one?
Yeah.
Which,
Sean, can we get back to them? I want to see if I answered that question pretty right quick. I'll be honest. Awesome.
The shot we did in there on the black screen, the lighting was hitting the paper in the back, so you could kind of see the paper. So what I did was I changed it to black and white. So
hey, kill it, Manny! I'm cheering for you,
then
bro.
I added like these little pixelation stuff, and that helped to kind of mask all that. And then I did like a lens flare effect on top of it, and then made that black and white too. So it just looks like movement. So now you can't really see the paper. It just kind of blends all in. I also use those shake effects, like when the camera shakes or when it zooms in real quick, because you shot it clean. I added the fuzz and I added the zoom in and the like when it shakes. That stuff is all pixel film stuff. And the words that travel with the camera, that's all pixel film too.
Okay. After the show, I'll show you what something that I got from it. I like them. They're good. It's pretty expensive too.
Yeah, like $29
and
each.
give me 5
Yeah.
of those in the package. That's pretty cool.
Yo, when you performing outside, you like the words with you or whatever? When you performing outside, you normally, when a rapper's performing outside, do you want his words on the track or off the track?
Outside is usually better when it's on track because it's hard to hear anything at all.
Yeah.
So it's good to have a clean audio signal that you feel.
But what if while doing that they can't hear you?
As long as they see you moving around and talking.
Somebody can really lift up the music or something. Well, we better come back in. So.
Yo, what up, everybody? This is your boy Sean Simmons, aka Double S. Yo, listen, you in the field with my boys, the Track Stars. Yeah, holla.
Yeah, back in the field with the Track Stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Make sure you go to trackstars.com and get all the latest.
Did you forget?
No, you just went through it. He was like, don't worry about it.
I was thinking about 2 different things at the same time. I do the rest of it.
No, that's it. That's good. You're good. I won't be here next Saturday.
So next, Noteworthy. All right, so this is one I've been skipping over because it's kind of a specific topic, but I think let's do it now. This one says, how to impact the world for Christ through comic books. All right, I love your guys' show and the wisdom that you share in segments like Noteworthy. My question does not exactly have to do with the Christian hip-hop world, but I think there are many similarities that could make it possible for you to help me out. I am 19, and ever since I can remember, I have been drawing and creating comic books. Last year when I graduated, I decided to pursue creating comic books as a career. After talking it over with my pastor and mentor, and even reaching out to real working artists. And through many coincidences, I really feel like God is calling me to do this. My question is, how do I impact the world through Christ with a comic book? I don't know if I should make it explicitly Christian, like the main character living out his faith, or if I should approach it like Narnia and Lord of the Rings, where the story is filled with symbolism that points to Jesus, or just make stories that promote godly behavior and ideals. I'm a huge fan of CHH, and I think it's cool how people like Lecrae and KB can make music filled with the gospel still sound good musically and artistically. I just don't know if I can make a good comic book while being explicitly Christian. I just really want to get this right, especially because now more and more comic book fans are becoming atheists and even Satanists, and it's the perfect place to bring the gospel. Thanks. How to impact the world for Christ through comic books. What you think?
I love it. I love the idea, but here will be my challenge to this individual, because you've been doing it for so long, and you said since 19, right?
I think he says he is 19, right?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Since you've been doing it for so long, right, and you are 19, because you're 19, right, then here's my deal. What I would say to you is you can create 2 comic books, all right, 2 comic series, one that's seeker-friendly, right, one that just kind of like, this is seeker-friendly for the world. It's more like the, Narnia, right, where it's the overall Christian concepts are interwoven into the overall comic book, and then the other one is just explicitly Christian,
Bible
right?
Man.
And then,
Y'all remember Bible Man growing up?
Yes.
Then, I was watching that when I was 19.
I missed it. I missed that whole vibe. But if you do that, then you have 2 comic books, right? One for like you can just really get explicit as you want, right? And then on the flip side of that, you can just have the other one where it's kind of woven in. And I think if you do that, then you get 2 things accomplished. Plus, you get to really explore your creative freedom.
I don't know. I would tell him to focus. I mean, I would just say, who's God calling you to? Is he calling you to encourage Christians and build Christians up, or is he calling you to reach the lost? This applies to Christian hip hop. It applies to movies. You have to figure out your God-given target market, and then design something that's perfect for that target market.
But I would say this. But we kind of said it like this before. But the Chick-fil-A model works for everybody.
Yep.
They're believers, but they create great food and got great customer service.
Yeah, but Chick-fil-A, there's not Christian stomachs and non-Christian. You know what I mean?
No, but what I'm saying is if you make great product of movies, film, music, if you're a Christian, it should be like, wow, this was great regardless. I remember
right,
seeing,
but you still got to pay attention to the target market. A really, really good Christian movie is different than a really, really good for anybody movie.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's still a different target. If your target is anybody and trying to pull people into the faith, that's a different target market than talking to Christians that already know what you're talking about and trying to encourage them or build them up or whatever. So I just think you got to figure out because C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien, it seemed like their goal was to get people into the faith, that had no desire for it to get interested in it. But other people may be what's another example? What was the one that just came out? I see it. I see the scenes. I just don't know what it's called.
What?
The guy lost his daughter, and then
The Shack?
The Shack, right? The Shack was written to try and bring people in, introduce them to a concept they may not want to see.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's a ton of Christian movies that are designed for Christians, right? So I would say find your target.
I agree. I would say, personally speaking, I would focus more on relating to people and where they are, what they like, and then letting them kind of ask questions from there. if you have like biblical ideals, different characters that kind of exude different characters that Christ kind of shows, and then just like, oh, like I like this person, is like, well, the kind of motivation behind that is from Scripture, is from my faith, and then kind of letting people see Jesus through the excellence that he's creating, or he or she, but really just being relatable to people, and then letting them see Christ from that. Because I think a lot of times we get confused. We're like, oh, I gotta say Jesus and everything explicitly, but sometimes God is like, just show compassion for somebody, show relatability to somebody, and let that be the example that I want to present.
Well, here's another thing too. I think the thing is, I know you said everybody kind of said like target or what God put on your heart, but like, I think if your heart's desire is to just create a comic book, start there first. Just create, and then come up with ideas. Storyboard it first.
Yeah.
Come up with ideas and be like, okay, this is about David, or this is about this guy over here, or whatever. You know what I mean? And then honestly, some great ideas to come up with characters would be the Bible. And I'm not talking about like using Bible characters, but using their scenarios, their situations, how they did it. Like if you could literally put King David's story in today's time and just flip certain things about it, but it's still the story of it.
But again, your target matters with that, because if it's a Christian audience, you don't need to mask it. It could just be David. It could be whatever. Yeah. But if it's a non-Christian audience, you may have to, like with Chronicles of Narnia, the lion was supposed to represent Jesus, and this is supposed to represent that. You do symbols. Just like when Jesus was here, he did parables, where the king represented God the Father, and this represented you. Yeah. Like, there's a way to pull people in. So your story is going to be vastly different depending on if the audience already knows what you're talking about, or and even sometimes even with Christian stuff. I used to grow up watching McGee and Me. Do y'all know what that is?
Yes.
McGee and Me was the jump.
Love that show.
And even they used to use...
I got so excited.
You can hate if you want.
I don't know what it is.
Never mind. Show. That's my recommendation. Go check out McGee and Me. And there's another show I used, Odyssey. Odyssey
Adventures
used to be the jump. Adventures in Odyssey.
Show.
They used to do the same thing, where it was 4 Christians. It was 4 Christians. For the new school ones, VeggieTales.
Yeah.
VeggieTales?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. It was 4 Christians, but they still used parables. They still used scenarios that were not exactly the story, but it alluded to the story. So,
am I not Christian enough?
Nope.
Adventures in Odyssey, man, that was a jump.
Classic.
McGee and Me, like, I mean, that's why I am who I am today.
McGee
like
and Me is why you are who you are today.
Like, it speaks to the creative mind. Like, I grew up in the 90s watching McGee and Me, listening on like road trips to Adventures in the Odyssey.
Yep.
Yeah.
You were hearing these like library movies?
I was born in 92.
Were these library movies like on a special channel? Because I never heard of them.
It wasn't on the channel. You had to buy them. You had to,
VHS.
Oh, you had to buy these?
Library movies.
Yep.
Yeah. Church.
Oh, okay.
They would be at church. They would be at,
library movies.
The Christian bookstores, Lifeway.
Yeah. They were dope. They were dope. Like, it really...
Are they still dope today? Like, do you go back and watch them?
Yeah, McGee and Me is dope.
I gotta check that out.
I'm about to YouTube.
Because I grew up on this thing called Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider was the fun.
There's an episode about skateboarding, which is fire.
No, but it was good. It was actually
really good.
It wasn't
What's
a
the
Christian, but
gang?
Ghost Rider was that little ghost that was in the computer, and they used to talk to him.
Yeah. But it would help you out. Yeah.
Buttercream Gang. Yo, Camille, thank you.
What's Buttercream Gang?
Buttercream Gang is how I learned how to
All this stuff is a Grant
forgive.
household
I'm
situation.
telling you. We didn't make the movies. We didn't make the movies. They exist. Go look
I know
up.
they do,
I was
but
thinking it. I just didn't want to say it. I was like,
Go
special place in heaven.
look up Buttercream
Special place in
Gang.
heaven.
That is how I learned how to forgive. I learned how to be humble from McGee and Me.
No.
I'm telling you, it really taught me how to
type
be.
in anything called Buttercream Gang.
What was that about? Buttercream Gang. That sounds familiar.
Google search.
It was about this little kid that he had a bully, and
You gotta be
somebody
careful in the
challenged.
buttercream. You gotta be
Can't
careful.
Google that.
You can't Google that. You can't Google that nowadays.
It's not the cocoa butter gang.
Yeah. Gonna be tough. You can find it though. Just filter through. God
But,
bless you.
I guarantee you there's a problem when you type in Buttercream Gang.
Yeah,
I
probably.
It was about this kid that had a bully, and then instead of fighting back, he started loving on him. He started doing things for him, and the kid just was like, "Why are you doing this?" There's a whole verse about you'll heap burning coals on their head.
Yeah.
There's that whole
I seen a movie. It It was a Christian movie back in the day where this guy was like, he was a good kid, then he went away and came back as like a gang member. Then he started leading the gang. Like, it was like a Christian movie. It was like,
that's not Buttercream Gang.
I don't know if that's the name of it. He was he was a good kid at first. He moved away and came back, and he was like ganged out, like he was a gang. And then he started influencing kids he started influencing other kids, and then they
making
came
them a part of his gang.
Yeah, and then something happens where he was like, he realized what he was doing and then changed.
I don't know.
But that was like a Christian movie I saw like back in the day.
Oh, that wasn't. Okay, let me ask you a question. Is Buttercream Gang a cartoon?
It's a real action.
Real?
A live action.
So do they have like gang signs or something like that? Like, what's their deal?
No.
How do
trolling you right
No,
now.
I'm not trolling at all.
Just keep going.
I don't care. I stand behind my
I'm not
picks.
trolling. I really just want to know because I have never heard of these
I'm
things.
100%
And
confident in my
maybe
picks.
I'm not.
If you weren't trolling, you would ask these questions off mic.
No, that's not true. Maybe I would be a better person had I encountered these things.
You would have.
Yeah, maybe so.
But I think honestly, going back to his question and his what he asking of us, honestly, when we were growing up as kids,
Camille
all that
said
stuff
it
was
is
like.
that one. Camille said it is that movie.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah. I was
That was
representing that. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it too.
Told you he
Yeah.
was trolling.
Yeah.
He just put up a gang sign.
What you talking about?
The C, the BC, Buttercream.
Buttercream?
He just did.
Nah, they got their own gang sign. I don't have to create it.
That's a mess. But anyway,
this is why people don't get saved.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
You're making fun of stuff that's designed to help people. and
But
we
here's the thing.
I'm
Growing up as
I want to go see it.
Growing up as kids, we had stuff that wasn't Christian, but it was still had a message of courtesy and generous and
Care
how
Bears.
to treat other
The
people. You know,
library
something
movies.
like that.
Care
yeah.
Bears.
The
Care
library
Bears.
movies.
Yeah, Care Bears.
No. The library movies.
Yeah, like
Don't you dare judge my Care Bears. I'm not gonna sit here and judge Buttercream Gangs.
I never watched that.
Even G.I.
yeah, okay.
Joe.
Care Bears
Back in the day,
was
G.I. Joe used to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
something at the end like, don't do drugs, don't do this, don't do that.
Anyway, man.
Only
So
you can prevent forest fires.
I would just say,
That was a commercial, right?
honestly, combining all the ideas, start with just drawing what you feel first. And then once you get really good at that and you feel confident that you can
That's
make a
amazing.
series, then start thinking about your target market. If you want this thing to grow and become something big, you have to consider who's gonna be absorbing this and what they need, how they need it to look. And then just work on it, man. Just start putting out series, keep getting better. We know some other comics.
Yeah. Because I was about to say we know people that's doing that now, trying to get stuff going and stuff. Dealing with a comic book and comic
Will
stuff.
Will Smith's doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's part of Track Star Sports. He's trying to get rid. I think it's I forgot the name of Deacon. It's Deacon something. I forgot the name of it. I'll tell everybody. I'll share it with y'all later.
All right, man. So let's get back into it. You in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let go.
You are listening to the Track Stars with Sean Tanner, Ryan Righteous, and DJ Jeremiah.
I never seen that.
I like Captain Planet. Captain Planet was dope.
I hated it.
You hated Captain
I
Planet?
hated Captain Planet so much. I had to watch it because it came on right before I was You know what time it is. So I was like I was watching Captain Planet and then it just kind of vibe into NWA.
You know what else was dope, but recently I realized was kind of demonic. Was Thundercats.
Thundercats is demonic?
When he used his sword and he looked into a sword, he said, "Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight." I was like, "Oh snap!" You really think about what he said?
Maybe I should have been watching some of Thundercats is my joint, son.
Yeah. I heard they were still trying to make a movie out of
They
that.
need to. They've been talking about that forever.
What, Thundercats?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it
They can't bring that back. No, have y'all heard Thundercats? Like, listen to them talk. They're very articulate. Like, everybody in the thing is very articulate. I think it was meant for, to help with your vocabulary and things like that. I think that was the whole vibe of Thundercats. Very articulate cats.
Hey, did you say
very articulate cat.
Did you say with that other link yet?
Yes, ma'am.
You did?
I thought I did.
Oh, I just saw one. I'll double check though.
Did I miss? Hold on. Let me see. I thought I forwarded it to you. It was from Jordan Rowe.
I just see one in here.
I'm concerned. I gotta go practice.
I just see the one you sent to 1203.
How many songs, man?
to help build community engagement around your brand.
Okay.
We can
So you
record
come up,
and
what's the
edit
other
podcasts
topic?
specifically
It was supposed to
designed
be
to
Chance.
the target market.
But no,
And
everybody hadn't
utilize
heard it.
social media to create
I
more
heard
fans
4 of
and
them.
loyal following.
I need security's the only one that stuck out.
Trackstars.com/brands. Again, that's Trackstars with a Z.com.
With a Z.
Can I
get you a commercial?
Yeah.
Can I give you a commercial?
Get it. I don't mean to sell a minute. In a minute. What? Get it. I'm sick of Solomon, man.
It was the buttercream game that you were talking about.
Yeah, Camille said that.
Yeah.
Let me see. You looked it up?
Yeah. I actually saw that at
That's trailer. Can't go back to this.
Huh?
I can't go back to this color fade.
It's not dope? Let me see. You can deal with that.
The 80s color?
Yeah.
It's gotta be rich quality.
I'm going back and watch the buttercream game. And then I'm gonna come back and tell y'all about it.
I thought
He's going to talk about something.
Buttercream game brought heartfelt tears to me.
Shut up, bro.
Man, I'm about to go home and watch it then tonight.
Nobody say
I remember the race they had to build like go-karts and race down a hill.
Yes, I remember that.
Still remember that.
And the skateboard episode.
I remember Odyssey. I remember McGee. I
Yeah.
love McGee.
Oh,
there was a table. There was a scene where they recreated the parable where if you sit at the head of the table, you should sit at the foot of the table and get invited to the head of the table. And that, just the illustration of that really made it stick in my head.
I feel like Slater.
Yeah, Avengers and Odyssey.
Was
so excited.
And now, kid, I work alone.
Yeah.
No, buttercream game.
Oh, what you just?
Is it a movie or is it a movie? Did you get it yet, Maya?
It was more.
Alright, we got a minute. Are we coming in?
Because this is titled something different from the first one I looked up.
Maybe just be another.
You heard me?
Maybe it's a different
We're
segment.
gonna come in after the song.
What are we talking about?
Which
So you want
email
to keep playing
address?
another song, man?
Which email address did you send it to?
Maya Dawson at Trackstars.com.
Oh, no wonder. You sent the other one
Talk about
too.
one of the ones I
One
brought
email
up.
address and the other one's one else.
No, the other one I just
I want to talk about your boy, coming to Jesus?
Yeah, that was my Gmail. I'll pull it up.
Okay.
Thank you.
What does it look like if a wave of that happens?
I actually don't want, if rappers do get people fucking saved, I hope they really really get under the faith instead of just coming out with music.
Scrappy got saved.
Scrappy.
He's been at the church.
I heard about that.
He's been there.
You know Sean's mantra. If you go to church, don't need to say.
That's not my mantra. That's Jesus.
Well, you know Sean's.
But also,
Double
some,
mantras.
it goes both ways too.
That's true.
It goes both ways too. Just because you don't go to church doesn't mean you're not saved. That's true. So, I mean, I don't. He's been there for like I think close to 2 years now.
So we gotta go back on Instagram. See what's up.
Into that gram.
Yeah. Gotta follow him now.
You following Scrap?
I'm about to.
You about to follow him?
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, yo, I got to stop.
Yeah, if I go back on last week's page and I see Gold Rush, I gotta be like, oh, there we go.
That's hilarious, bro.
Little Scrappy fan page, Little Scrappy.
What's up, y'all? This your boy Thizzle. You know what it is, man. I'm in the field with the track stars.
Nope, not that one.
Damn it. You a mess, bro.
Nope.
Oh, that ain't demonic. It is.
Oh, you squashed his dream, man.
I know. That is demonic, though. Hey.
You know which one is really him.
Mike, you got it?
Yes, thank you.
You think we're gonna get it to them? You think? Or you think I
Sending
should?
it to him now. I mean, they're going on right now. The event is
Okay.
started at
So here's what I do as a backup. I'll just
get the full track. I just give them my phone, let them play the full track, and that'll be my backup if they can't.
Exactly.
That cool?
Yeah.
He's leaving?
I don't think he should be. He said he wanted to stay till the end of the show, which is why I put him at the very end.
Let's see what I want. Hey!
Why is Tekashi 6ix9ine trying to What is Wixon trying to LA to run fast?
Like he can what?
Run fast.
Why is he like run fast?
That's how y'all have to sit on Trackstar too, bro. Is that like something he's trying to do now? Like run Tekashi?
You talking about masturbation, guys?
What happened?
So we're gonna be talking about.
We're coming in after the song.
Talking about black with some masturbation, guys.
That's a noteworthy?
Oh, this is good.
Camille, I was joking about not coming next week.
Really coming to that after the song?
I was basically just saying that if my liners weren't valued, I wasn't going to be here next week.
The name of the song is called Solo.
You don't have to reschedule this.
What happened?
I did not know that, bro.
What'd you say? Right?
So he doesn't want to go solo.
Is this the throwback song?
No.
Dang.
I don't even hear it. I don't even ask me the question. You go around the top and play the last.
Yeah, you're like, is this a throwback song? There's almost like, is this Christian hip?
They pay to get this stuff.
Y'all can tell like
It's too hurry up. Did not know what you were about to talk about. I would have picked a totally different song.
Y'all feel free to donate if the Lord leads you.
Who is this on?
Oh.
Don't go solo. Everybody come in.
Yo, this is your man, Kristen Gray. You in the field with Track Stars.
All right, back in the field with the Track Stars. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. What's good?
All right, for all things Track Stars, make sure you visit www.trackstars.com. Follow us on Instagram @TrackStars, Twitter @TrackStars, like the Facebook page, download the app, and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Also, make sure you go do the SPAC Challenge. If you're an artist and you got bars, go check out the SPAC Challenge. It's up on our Instagram.com/TrackStars to enter, and you could get on the remix with Loso. All right, so noteworthy, we're going to do another one because we're way behind, and they could get a little raw. So we're gonna go there and just, this is real stuff. This one is entitled Masturbation. I was just wondering if masturbation is really a bad thing for Christians. It doesn't mention anything in the Bible about having sexual pleasures on your own. I was reading an article the other day about a Christian woman who masturbated even when married and believed that it wasn't a bad thing. She said as long as you're not fantasizing while doing it, it is not technically wrong. This might be a touchy issue, no pun, but I would like to hear.
Dude, you can't do that, bro.
I added that. But I would like to hear you guys talk about it. Thanks. Masturbation.
You cannot do that, bro.
What do y'all think?
I mean, no. I mean, it's you know, what does the Bible tell us to flee sexual immorality? Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So,
but is that sexual immorality? That's what they're saying.
I mean, I would imagine, yeah. I don't think you can debate that it's not. How do you debate that it's not?
That's what they're saying. They are debating that it's not.
What is the argument?
That it doesn't say you can't do that in the Bible.
There's a lot of things the Bible says you can't do, but you still know you can't do them.
Why?
Why? Mm-hmm. Conviction. Just the fact that it's wrong. I don't know.
But why do you think it's wrong? That's the question. That's what they're asking.
Why you got to start with me?
I didn't. I just said, what do y'all think?
No, you always start with me. You always
look
me in the eye. Always look me in the eye to start this off. No, I mean, so, okay. How do you explain this?
It's tough.
It's tough. It's tough because it's always been associated with wrong behavior. You know what I mean? Like pornography and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And young boys finding these things out early on in their lives and you know, not knowing the difference or not knowing better and just kind of hearing it as, you know, as though it's something taboo. So to me, it's like you have to, I don't know, you have to educate early on these things. I mean,
you're just talking in platitudes now. Like, why is it wrong?
It's wrong because our ultimate satisfaction should be God. Our ultimate satisfaction is through Christ. So masturbation, that's like, I can do this on my own. And that's pride and selfishness, which is the absolute opposite of what God is, right? And if God is calling us to love, selfishness is not that. And so it's kind of taking it into our own hands and saying, okay, I'm gonna find pleasure with myself, but really pleasure should be with God. Since we're created with that God-sized hole in our hearts, we try to find everything to satisfy that. That's why when that happens, you feel as empty, if not more, after the fact, and you're just like, okay, where's my next high gonna come from? Because that didn't help it. All this stuff does not help. So what is it that's gonna satisfy me permanently?
Low key, this is a topic nobody talks about. So
especially in the church.
We've talked about it before on the church. I mean, we talked about it before. No. I'm saying we talked about it on this show.
What did we say?
It was a noteworthy.
Do you think it's the same guy?
That means we didn't help him 5 years ago. No, I don't think it's the same person. It was a noteworthy. I do remember because I tried to run it through the partners. You know what I mean? Like I was like, well,
can we talk about this?
Yeah, and they were like, yeah, absolutely. The church doesn't talk about it. Our young people need to hear it.
So we need to separate before marriage and after marriage. I think before marriage, I guess what they're saying is if you don't lust after somebody, can you do it? And I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the marriage part. That's the part that's weird to me. Well, I get the before marriage part. I understand why that's wrong, but I also understand why people say they do that.
Well, somebody asked, they said, what if you're doing it in marriage and you're thinking about your spouse? Is that wrong?
It can be. Like anything that's good can be kind of considered idolatry.
But wouldn't that be if your wife was there?
No, they're not there. What if they're on the road?
Oh.
Is that wrong?
Now, would that be included with like, and it's just going to be there, taking it there, but like phone sex or like you and your wife digital sex? That would be the equivalent to that?
I mean, that could be included in that, yeah. So is that wrong?
Wow, that's real.
I think in marriage it kind of approaches a blurrier line. TMI, but I've never done this, so this is not part of my life.
Yeah, mine either.
And I avoided it because my father actually came to me when I was like 12 or 13, and he said, "Don't do that, because it'll get your mind thinking about doing it for real, right?" And it's not a pure act because it's sex is designed for your spouse, not for you. And if you start imagining sex as something to help you and not something to please your spouse, you're going to continue that behavior even in marriage, where this is about making me feel good. It's not about me taking care of my wife, and vice versa, right? So, and it's hard to separate that from lust, because it's what happens in your brain is what actually makes all that stuff work, right? So it's hard to separate lustful thoughts from that activity, because that's what it's for. That process that you're doing on your own is designed for your spouse, right? So I don't know. It just seems like I avoided it. I've never done that, so I avoided it completely. After marriage is when it gets a little fuzzy, because again, the marriage bed is undefiled. Does that kind of cross that line? And if it's between you and your wife, I don't know. It's kind of like drinking at that point to me. It's like drinking is not wrong. I still avoid drinking because I don't need no extra temptations in my life. I got enough, right? So I don't want to add anything that's another grenade to juggle in my life, right? Let's leave that, let other people struggle with that one. I'm gonna just deal with the ones I got. So if I just don't, it's not necessary for me. You know, I was a virgin when I was married, so I trained myself to not need sex every day for 28 years. So if my wife is away or whatever, I mean, I know I'm going to live. I know I am, because I lived for 28 years.
Yeah.
So I think it develops like you believe that it's a need. Your body doesn't need it. I promise. 28 years, no sex, no masturbation. I lived. I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a need. So to me, then after that, it's wisdom. You need to, in marriage or whatever, you need to know. You have to know your own thoughts. You have to know is this ungodly for me? Would I say thank you, God, for allowing me to do this? Thank you, Jesus, for what you're about to provide. Like, I can do that with my wife. Like when on our wedding night, we prayed before our wedding night, because there was nothing wrong with it, right? That was what it was designed for. Can you pray before this and say thank you, God, for what you're about to give me? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of, like, are you lifting this up? And it said, if you can lift it up for Jesus, is blessed, right? There's no food that's forbidden. Can you lift it up before God with a clean heart and say thank you for this? And if there's no doubt and there's no whatever, then that's between you and Jesus. But I just find it hard to be like, thank you, God, for.
Well, I no pun intended, but I think it go hand in hand with lust, or it goes hand in hand with porn. It's really never something where, because somebody said, well, why would you need to masturbate if you married? Like, why would you need to be? You know what I mean? Like,
people can find reasons. I mean, so, everybody's schedule ain't the same. Everybody ain't always around each other. So it will come up. You will have to decide that after marriage if you're going to be doing that or not. Like, you don't always get sex whenever you want it.
Yeah.
So that is something you have to make a decision on. What are my principles? Am I doing this or am I not doing this? And and I'm just giving you tools. Can you really lift this up and say, God, thank you for this? Can you, like the way you do when you eat? I could say, thank you, God, for this meal. I get a little nervous when I'm eating like fries and a burger and I'm saying, thank you, God, for this, bless this in my body. It's like, wait, am I real? I feel guilty about saying that. Do you feel guilty a little bit if you were to pray for this? If you do, then you probably shouldn't be eating it. And if you do, you probably shouldn't be doing that, right? That goes for anything.
So I have a question. What about people in the military, overseas?
I think that's
They're
the same
away
question.
from their spouses for 2 years.
Same question.
Yeah.
Same question.
I was away from my spouse for 28 years.
I just don't know. So because I would love for somebody from the military to comment, because I can't, because I've never been in that situation. But I just would love to know, like, how do you keep your marriage alive during that time?
I do think that is a interesting scenario.
Yeah.
That's a hard one, because between like when I say I was without her for 20 years, I didn't know who my wife was.
Yeah.
If you know who your wife is, then it's a lot harder, because if you're going to be away for 8 months or 2 years, that's hard. And that's where I think you guys have to be able to lift that up before God together and say, God is okay with us doing this. I feel clear in my spirit that this is something that he wants us to do to stay connected.
Yeah.
To me, that's a different conversation than my wife ain't giving it up, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to just take care of myself. That's a different attitude to me. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know.
You know, one of the questions we've never really addressed as a team, and I think we probably have talked about it before. It's not been like joking, but what if one of our spouses gets a job overseas, right? And
that was a possibility for me.
Was it?
When we first got married, Alfie got offered a job in London for 11 months.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I was like,
no.
I just got to do this.
Well, I'm talking about that too.
It's not fair.
I'm talking about that too, but I'm talking about
No,
like
that's
as-
selfish, Sean. That's selfishness you was talking about, bro.
It wasn't because of that, but it's because we just got married. Like, you need to form a bond when you first get, not sexually, but just period. That's
I've
all.
always wondered how my interaction with Track Stars would be if I moved away, right?
Sorry, Ben.
Like
Huh?
that would I always wonder how my interaction with Track Stars would be if I moved away. So that's always been something that I've been like, I hope this team stays together. I hope we stay in the same cities and things of that nature. But yeah, I just would I imagine that it makes a marriage hard, and it makes you it confuses things. I know personally people who have had spouses overseas and have cheated. You know what I mean? And it's real. Marriage falls apart. They get divorced, and it's just like.
But that's why I think before you're married, training your body like this.
Yeah, that says that
sanctification and all this stuff is you're training yourself to not need those things. I used to look at pornography. I pray God take this away from me, and I haven't looked at it since.
Yeah.
God could change your life, and realize that some of the stuff you don't need. You don't need any of these things. The world will tell you you gotta have it. You gotta have it. You scientifically have to have it. And it's not true. I'm proof of that. It's not true.
What do we say to people who their parents is telling them, like, well, I want you to wait to marriage, but you can masturbate.
It don't matter what your parents say.
No, I'm just saying.
That's my answer.
Yeah, okay.
It don't matter what your parents say. It don't matter what your friends say or the TV said or your favorite rapper say. It don't matter what it don't matter what we say.
Yeah.
You gotta talk. You gotta lift this up. God, can I truly receive this from you and not feel like I'm doing something wrong? If you feel like you're doing something wrong, it is wrong for you. Until you reconcile that with Him, and really, really honestly, when you're in a bad relationship with Jesus and you're not reading your Bible and you're not praying, ask, because you're not hearing nothing. You're disconnected. I'm talking about in good relationship, praying every day, reading every day, close connection with God. Can you honestly, with a pure heart, say this is something that He said I could do? And then it's between you and Him. You don't gotta tell nobody else. That's your relationship. And if you're wrong, I guarantee you will be corrected.
So
He don't play with you falsifying information between you and Him.
Yeah.
But I don't think nobody would tell nobody that though.
It don't matter. If you do
you know
something,
what I mean? Like,
it don't matter if you tell anybody. I'm talking about if you do something, if you pray and you're like, well, it seems like God told me to do it, and you're wrong, He has a way of making sure you realize how wrong you were about that. I didn't say that. Yeah. God had a way, like there was times in my life where I could have had sex that God, it was like the Holy Spirit punched me in the chest. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get up. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of, He will let you know that is not what I said you could do. Yeah. Hopefully, if your relationship is close. If not, if your relationship is not close, you should be fearful every day of your life that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, because you have no way of getting the information. So,
you're a rare breed, right?
Huh?
You're a rare breed, right?
Of what?
Like, I grew up in a Christian household, but my parents didn't talk to me like that. My parents didn't. Like,
I mean, I'm grateful for my dad for because it was a weird conversation. I remember that. I'm like, I want to hear about this.
My dad never talked to me about that. I learned about what that was when somebody got caught in high school doing that, and I was like, what is that? And I was like, of course, my sexually active friends told me what it was, and I was like, whoa, it's doing that in the classroom, really? So, but what I'm saying is like, what I'm saying is, but what I'm saying is, I think everybody's perspective has to be different, and in the way that they were raised, right? Because a lot of people weren't raised the way you were raised. Like that was just. When I hear about it, I think it's just such a rare
this wasn't
jewel.
an ongoing conversation. This was one time. I remember where I was. I remember it was just a one-time, hey, don't do that.
But I mean, even going back to what we talked about earlier with the Buttercream Gang and all the different
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
I'm just saying, and I respect it.
I have no shame
I
on the
completely
Buttercream.
respect it. It's just different because
It is different. Yeah, I agree.
A lot of households, like I was born in the church. I went to church and I found a relationship with God.
Yeah.
But my parents weren't the type of parents that were like, you got to do this, you got to do that. My mom said it one time, don't have sex till you get married, and if you do, God is watching you, and I don't have to know about it, but He will. He'll punish
That's
you.
a lot.
That's
a lot.
That's
Some
all
people
I
don't.
needed to hear. Like,
Yeah,
I heard it one
get that.
time.
I didn't get that
Right,
at all.
and so I think everybody's dynamic is different. I think we come to Christ with the heart that we know him.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's never too late. The reason I'm telling you this is because that was a nugget of information that helped my life.
Yeah.
Even if you've been doing that for your entire life, if you could start new things in your life right now, and it'll change the rest of your life.
But you realize while hearing that, I'm scared to have that conversation with the child, like my children or anybody else. Because
I wasn't 2. I was like,
no, I know that. Of course, I know that. But all I'm saying is, you gotta also give.
Ryla, Uncle Sean got something to tell you.
No, but seriously, you gotta also know too. Like I was this person in youth ministry, right? That was listening to kids tell me stories where I'm like, I don't know how I would have dealt with that if that was happening in my high school. You know, like they literally told me about. I mean, and this was happening, but it wasn't a big deal. It was a big deal then, but it was still very quiet. But like running trains on girls and stuff like that.
Yeah, that happened in my school.
When I heard about this from one of my youth ministry guys, like it was like, you know, I couldn't be on the football team because like I had someone tell me
because he was at Pebblebrook. There was a lot of stories going back and forth between Pebblebrook, Campbell, Osborne. Like it was crazy back then.
Wow.
But here's the thing. Stuff that was readily available now that you can pick up a smartphone and see was not my problem back in high school.
That's true. You had to go look for pornography.
Yeah. And so when one of my students told me about what was going on in his high school, I was like, dude, like I don't know how I would have lived through that. I don't know how I would have lived through girls being so open and being so honest about where they were sexually.
Shoot, forget girls, teachers. Now you got teachers. You in the news
that happened back then too, though. I had teachers in my school that was in relationship with kids.
Well, I had teachers in my school that were in relationship with kids too, but it was male to female.
A lot of male, but I had a female
student to male student, and female teacher to male student.
I had one of those.
Wow.
So it is easier to see. You could go on Instagram and see porn. You know what I mean? So it is a lot harder to avoid. But I'm just telling you, this is a principle. Like, lift it up to God genuinely.
Yeah.
If it feels wrong coming out your mouth, it's wrong.
Yeah. I also would say this: if you have discipline now, it helps you later.
It really does, and that's all this is. Especially if you're not married yet, you have to start disciplining yourself because these challenges don't go away after marriage. It probably gets harder because now the consequences of your sin could be your marriage. Yeah. Before it could just be, just getting disconnected from God. Maybe there's a bunch of things that could happen. But in a marriage, like your entire marriage could die if you don't get this stuff right now. So hopefully that helps, man. You in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, and DJ Jeremiah. Lego.
Do you know that we are a full-fledged media company and we're here for people like you? We can do mixing, we can do mastering of your song, we can get you an album cover, design your website, do your music video. Yeah, we do all of that stuff. So send us your information right now. Contact us at trackstars.com and let us help you get out there. Let's go.
Is it raining outside?
No.
Oh,
when I heard
Wait.
Did you see my text? I couldn't download.
So the way I heard that though was more so.
Yeah. Where? English.
To me, it sounds like he's already kind of like he's not a good.
I don't tell nobody.
But
I'm telling you,
if that's the case,
let's go in.
I'm reading in the Bible.
We don't do that no more.
That
no. Better learn how to use method the right way.
So
here's what's going on.
This is probably the only way you can just like.
But you said you couldn't
get that out.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me. Just so you know, as long as you have it on your phone.
That's how I.
But that's my answer.
Oh, is that
it was based on that. Okay. Yeah, even whether you're version or not.
It said it only gave permission to use nowadays.
No, I thought it was raining outside. That's what I asked him. You don't see it.
He's trolling me right now.
I am not. I asked a real question. Why you doing this? It's not even that serious.
Alright, what'd you say?
I was just saying it didn't give me permission, so make sure you have that one on your phone.
Oh, this the throwback song. Yeah, okay.
I give it to you. I just said that you couldn't. It wasn't
link. Yeah,
$5. Anybody that can tell us the name of this artist in the next 2 seconds.
Permission has only been given to Rick Seniors. $5
from Sean. Okay. I'm kidding. $5 for
Yeah. You better miss $5.
Never mind. Oh, 2 seconds is up. Too late.
Man, we need you on that paper, son. You got some paper?
Yeah, I got some paper.
Oh, that was sweat.
Man.
Oh, okay. Hell, man. Why you even tell me nothing? I took your hand and anything.
I just said he's trolling you.
I was just talking the opposite. Good sweat, brother.
He's like, yo, throw me outside.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I don't get enough adult interaction today, y'all. So this is hilarious.
You did not tell me nothing, bro. You could have. That's your arm. Oh my God.
You liked it like that.
You left your hand like
Y'all ready?
Why are you laughing? Ain't that funny, Ryan? Ain't that funny? It's actually nasty.
Ernest, I need you to sit back down, bro.
What up?
I need you to sit back down so I can
Yo, my throat hurts. Michael Maloney.
We beating on your block. Track stars, yeah. I'm repping the most high king like mama, I made it. Track star bringing the real, you love it to hate it. Line for line with the kingdom, the secular faded.
Yo, what's going on? This your man right here, DJ I Rock Jesus. You're right in the field with my peoples, Track Stars. And you know what? Get ready for line for line.
Yeah, back in the field with the Track Stars. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah was good.
All right, man. For all things, check out trackstars.com. Make sure you know that while you're watching this on YouTube, we are also a 2-hour podcast. You can download the podcast by going to iTunes. We have an app for iTunes for smartphones, Android and iPhone. So make sure that you get plugged in that way. We have segments like Noteworthy, Dissect, and Sound Off. So don't just look for line. Look for everything Track Stars. All right?
All right, man. This is Line for Line. Welcome. First off, before we start this, we're going to... I think this is going to be a good one. This is going to be good. One side is the known, most popular probably couple in hip-hop, the Carters, Jay-Z and Beyonce. And on the other side is a group that I found about a while ago called The New Black. I think they came out with an album last year. They were Rapzilla freshmen and everything like that.
Oh, I know them.
But shout out to, I know people asked me to on the Track Stars official Track Stars page on Facebook. I get a lot of requests on there. We go back and forth and everything like that. You know, to be an official Track Stars person, what you have to do, Sean? What you have to do to be an official Track Stars person?
Go to trackstars.com/official, sign up, and you get a free t-shirt. It's free for a month, and then it's $5 a month after.
Okay, so on those, we go back and forth. I give ideas, I ask ideas on those. I do more stuff with those people because they're the official Track Stars and page and stuff like that. So, but with that being said, we're going to do, like I said, the Carters versus the New Black. But shout out to Sho Baraka and Vanessa Hill because people did request that one. That was a big one. So if you want to listen to that as well from a Christian perspective, go check out their album. I believe it's called So Many Feelings. But the views and opinions of the Trackstar Universe are not views and opinions of the artists, the label, producers, and others. Offends you feel like we shouldn't be doing this, please stop now. We do not promote mainstream artists on Trackstars. Trying to do the same artists over and over again. The New Black is not the Christian version of anybody. It's just a bit for folks. So here we go. We're going to start off with Jay-Z, Heard About Us, from the Carter's album. Here we go.
Billie Jean in his prime. For the 1,000th time, the kid ain't mine. Online, they call me dad, kiddingly. You're not supposed to take this dad thing literally. That's too famous. We don't even really do famous. I'm cool on that chunk to 2 fingers. Every day I'm getting sued famous. I show up to court without a suit famous. Yeah, every move is on the news, ain't it? It has its perks too, ain't it? Shooting videos in the Louvre, ain't it? It could be far worse for you, can't it? Pain comes with penthouse views, ain't it? Bitch know me, I've been me since the COVID.
That was the Carters, Heard About Us. Somebody just recently said the New Black were friends and they went in a group together, but so we can clear that up. All right, I'm sorry, Shoba Rocket and Ref too. All right, that was Heard About Us, the Carters. This is from the New Black Colors of the Wind. Here we go.
Get in the trolley and travel out. Maneuver mountains and valleys. I'm Johnny the Baptist. I'm losing my balance. I'm floating. The palace is calling us. Put away cameras. Only bring back what we remember. I'm coming back on my symbol and saving my ninjas with notes in my head. Band tools finna meditate. I hit my knees and I levitate. Talking to the melodies, but I sound like Double G. Never understanding me when I innovate. When I'm talking to the breeze, I'm at ease, mama. Every time I hit my knees, I'm at peace, mama. Ebony and Ivory, I'm on the keys, mama. I'm another nominee for the dream, mama. Young new with the caravan. Never settle for.
That was the New Black, Colors of the Wind versus the Carters, Heard About Us. So y'all going weird?
What you got?
That's tough. I'm gonna say New Black though.
New Black. What
Yeah,
you got?
me too. That was dope.
What you got? You.
Oh, okay, I'm going New Black.
All right. That was close for me. I think I'm gonna go Carters on that one. What you got? Carters. What you got? New Black. Online. You might just need to go first, Jeremiah.
Okay. I'm probably gonna go with New Black on that one. New Origin. That's the guy who was referencing. So.
All right. So according to the votes right now, it's 5-2. New Black wins the first round. It's 1-0 going into round 2.
All right. We're gonna start off with New Black this time. This is from New Black, K. Sade. This is called Santiago. Here we go.
Santiago soul and I think God inside the wind. That's the real for OOTV flow all up in your ear like Orinoco. Electrical is stiff. What you hear is un poco loco. Never would have thought I could have came this far. Take this, aim these bars. Even Amos and put us on the A-list and put us at his greatness. Cross fake kids come out the pain when they get a taste of creation, but can't trace it to a dedication. Van Helsing with Helsing, crossbow stake laden. So faithless, you shouldn't stay here. Leaning on my vapor and new fragrance to thank him.
That was K. Sade from the New Black, Santiago. Here's Miss Carter, Friends. Here we go. Hey, that was Beyonce for the Carter's album Friends, song Friends. Santiago, the New Black, we are going with.
What you got?
Skip me for right now. I gotta think.
Can't do that. What you got? You gotta go right off the top.
Beyonce.
What you got?
I'm gonna go toss up on that.
Toss. What you got, Sincere?
I'm going Beyonce.
I actually like the New Black on that.
K. Sade's a beast, bro.
Yeah, I got New Black. What you got? Beyonce. What you got, Maya?
I have toss up.
Toss up. What you got, Jeremiah?
I'm going with K. Sade.
Okay.
What we're looking like online?
Tossing so far. Well, yeah, it's like back and forth. Black.
Next vote wins.
Carter. And then we got.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on over here. Nothing. Nope. All right. Looks like the Carters got that.
Carters have it? All right, cool. Then in that round, it's a 4-2 win for the Carters. 1-1 going into the third round.
All right. All right, in the third round, we're going to start off with New Origin Poetry. Here we go.
They show you kind of love players can only take. Show you kind of love with babies that get made. Know you for a while, but I still be on my chase for you. Need you now, I don't wanna wait for you. I just wanna pay for you. I just wanna pray for you. I just wanna change my ways and keep the love the same. Ever since the day you took my name, trying to get a letter to you, let you know that I got a lot of words to say. Little love from a girl made me levitate. Let it know in the.
All right, that was New Origin from Poetry, song Poetry from the New Black. This is Summer from the Carters. Here we go.
I brought my sand to the beach, hopped out the land with the sheep, skin rugs on the floor. We hug, made love on the seats. We tried to hide in the hills. We watched the sky turn peach. Summer's light, summer's night. It's like Christ's masterpiece. She tastes like Corona Light, sweet. Even the lime got a squeeze. She gave me a little sweat to chase behind my weed. If I could stay in her hair forever, that'd be fine by me. I don't have no concept of time, even with a rose gold concept on me. I remember summer night.
All right, that was the Carters, Summer versus Poetry, the New Black. Who y'all going with?
What you got? New Black. What you got?
You just came in.
First or second? You heard enough. I'll go to the first one. First one, what was that? New Black. What you got?
I'm going New Black on that one. That Levitate joint is insane.
Yeah, I got New Black on that too. Jay-Z was doing some good stuff, but New Black sounded better. What you got? New Black, Maya. New Black, what you got?
New Black.
We're looking like online. All right, don't matter. It's a wash. 8-0 for New Black, 2-1 going into the fourth round.
All right, we're gonna start off with the Carters this time. Nice. That was Nice, the Carters. This is Finesse 2.0, the New Black.
One time, Timberlands and dreads in the sunshine. A little bit of weirdness will go far. We living in our heads with a fun light. I'm like, how many mics do we rip on the daily? Many money, anybody in the mix who must admit the inventory knows we so relentless on production. And I ain't gotta be Beyonce, Rihanna, Minaj, Kim Kardashian, K Sade. Let's move operate with these bars. Say to go far, you got to go God's way. I said smooth operate, how I operate with these operas. And Lou said it's a verse, not an album. K, I know it's not, but yeah. The world hit any curve they throw at the play. Can we pray and we close our.
That was the New Black, Finesse 2.0, Nice, the Carters. So y'all going weird?
New Black for that little shot at Beyonce.
New Black.
I mean, New Black was better. Just better.
What you got? Carters. What you got?
I got the New Black on that one.
I got the Carters on that. I think Pharrell loves them chords, man. It sounded dark, but it still sounded interesting. So I got the Carters. What you got? Carters, Maya. New Black. What's that? What you got?
I'm gonna say New Black.
Okay.
Camille got told. Is it close?
No.
Okay.
Well, it's semi. It's only, but it's a clear win already. So it's a 5-3 win for the New Black on that one. It is 3-1 going into the fifth round.
All right, we're gonna what's the score? 3-1. All right, we're gonna start off with the New Black this time. It's called Bougie. Here we go.
Peter, my legacy, and that's you, yeah. Trying to make a classic, please. It's our chance to grab the reins. Middle class trap black to paddle ways. Middleman let us pass the passageway. We just trying to stretch out the boundaries. We just trying to stretch out the calendar. Yeah. And I wish that I could fly out of this bourgeois. You know that I can't get too far.
That that was Bougie, the New Black. This is Boss, the Carters. That was the Carters, Boss, versus the New Black, Bougie. Who y'all going with?
I'm gonna say the Carters.
The Carters.
Carters. What you got? Carters. What you got?
Did you go?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Carters.
Carters. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm going Carters on that one. Yeah, that invoice line was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't like either one. But I got Carter sounded better. So
yeah.
What you got? Carters. What you got? Carters.
I'm going New Black. So
New Black.
No, I'm going with the Carters.
Carters. It's a sweep.
Yep, that is a sweep for the Carters, and it looks like a sweep online as well. In that case, it is a 9-0 round for the Carters. I'm going into round 6.
All right.
I see you're doing the whole WWE thing where in a mixed match, only the women go against the women and the men go against the men. Okay.
Stop doing that, man. It's a new day. It's a new age.
I asked my wife. My wife was like, "Y'all
you gotta stop doing that, Maya." I'm just playing.
All right, here we go.
That's a good idea.
We're gonna start off with the Carters. Ape. All right, that was the Carters.
You say vitamin D on Trackstar? Right.
She said some other stuff.
Sure did. Go ahead.
Was she curse?
No, I'm just joking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Anatomy.
All right, that was Ape-ish, the Carters. This is the kids that can the New Black.
Club, Triton, Neptune, and Poseidon, all in one split is Triton. Shoot that up against the pitchforks, let the rust kill him. Kingdom by the sea with the Jesus who can fix that. Water, that's the death, and the light, that's the kickback. So they can find out what greatness lies, and they don't question the grace inside. Inside out, present myself, and if it's less than, I'll take that L. Distress the brand, yeah, we make that well. And I can't fear for a living, and I can't win, so I'm a ninja. Double back, black, been killing with invisible clothes. Now that we showing our face, maybe they know, but I still got.
All right, that was the New Black, the kids that can't versus Ape-ish, the Carters.
New Black.
Last one, y'all going?
New Black. What you got?
Yeah.
New Black.
New Black. New Black. What you got?
Going to Carters.
I think the Migos did pretty good on that, but I like New Black better. I think theirs actually sounded better.
You know exactly what he's saying.
Migos.
Yeah, the Migos made that song. They just redid it. They sent him a demo track. Have you ever heard the demo track?
I heard
it sounds exactly the same. It's just that Jay-Z did his own verse and Beyonce did Offset's verse. Is it Quavo? I thought it was Offset.
One of the two.
Anyway, it's exactly the same. But they did a good job. Like the Migos did a great job. It's just that I was surprised how good New Black came after that. Like I've never heard of them, no experience with them, and they should be known. Whoever they are.
Yeah. New Black.
The bad thing is they no longer a group.
What?
They solo.
Oh, okay.
They broke up?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know the details, but
where the crew at? Let's get that inside scoop.
Now they orange.
Yo, Sean, what'd you go with?
It's a reach.
Orange
Okay.
That
was good.
That's a reach.
Go ahead. It's a metaphor show, guys. You gotta keep up. What you got? Carters. What you got? Carters. What you got?
What'd you do?
I'm a toss.
I don't know if I did. I
You
said
didn't do anything.
New Black.
You said New Black? Okay.
I'm a toss.
You tossing? Dope. What do we got online?
Carter's on YouTube. This S is weak. Oh, you know, it's our fake Trackstars profiles back.
Oh, welcome.
There's Ryan's face on it, actually.
Oh,
wow.
Dang.
It is Ryan.
On what?
Unless
On-
Ryan is out here cussing now.
On Periscope?
He
Can
has
we see
been
your
on his
phone, Ryan?
phone.
Is it Periscope or YouTube?
Periscope.
Ah.
I don't know. Ryan might be trolling.
Hey, you know what? We have
That's a
that special
that's
button
A deep
where-
troll if you go into cussing.
Yeah, we have that special button where we can delete those people, right?
Well, I don't care what they do now.
No, this
Now
is not
we're
on
gonna be gone.
YouTube. It's on what's it?
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want on Periscope now. I don't care. Anyway, what's that?
With your bad quality, with your low quality.
Dang.
We just roasting people now that we.
That sucks, y'all. What we doing?
It's like Kawhi Leonard. How they talking about him now? Yo, you whack. Like you loved him when he was on your team.
Now how far
Now
delayed
he whack.
you are.
He trash.
Freedom session. What you say? You know how far delayed you are?
Yeah.
They still talk about masturbation.
Wait, y'all really did talk about masturbation when I left?
Yo, join
Wow.
join YouTube, man. Join
Touchy
YouTube.
subject.
YouTube.
No, don't tell him to join. I don't want him on there.
Yeah, join. Come
No, I don't want him over here.
on. Anyway,
Hey.
what's that? What we got?
Well, I can't really say. Okay, all right. So here's the deal. We're tossed, right?
Oh,
So
good.
we
I
have
like
4 for Carter's, 4 for New Black, and the one toss was by Jeremiah, who's supposed to be our deciding factor. So I don't know what to do in this situation.
What's the overall score?
Overall score is 2-3. So this has to go either one way. We have to kind of make Jeremiah decide.
I don't know.
What was
if
a
it
toss?
works
What
that
it was a toss on? What's the name?
It's a toss completely. Yeah, 4-4 plus you with the toss. So we're at a 2-3. New Black is winning 3-2.
way. And it's
That's
it's
it?
a toss on Periscope.
It's a toss on. No, was it?
Yeah, toss.
Okay.
That's the only vote I see.
No. What is it on? Yeah. So is that it?
Yeah, we tossed before that happened.
All right, cool. Well,
New Black won by 3.
in this situation, then it's over. Then we're at a 3-2 win for New Black.
I agree with that.
You done with that?
I agree.
Okay. I mean, I love New Black. Honestly, we're doing some stuff for Trackstar Sports, and somebody was like, "Yo, play New Black, right?" And so I was like, I didn't know who they were at the time. And then when I started playing their stuff, I was like, "Yo, they dope, man. Like they really nice." Where can we So- get their music? Like
That's the first time I ever heard
It's
that.
over,
on,
bro. It's over now.
It's like 2017 the album came out, but you can still go play it. It's on iTunes. and
What's their name?
New Black?
No, what's the individual names now? Since we won't be able to find New Black.
K Sade. That's the young lady who was rapping. I think
Yeah.
she's a beast. And New Origin, but his name is not New Origin no more. It's something else. I can't remember.
Jason said our group's dying out. No, groups are not dying
We got
out.
to do that one though. That's a good one. The death of the group.
Yeah.
That's happening.
Now the Migos are still strong,
They
and
are. Who
FMG
else?
still strong.
Who else? Not a lot of groups.
FMG.
There's not a lot of groups left.
It's not, bro. It's hard to do group stuff on line for line. When people are like, yo, do this group against, I'm like, it's not. I gotta make up, almost try to combine two people together.
Yeah.
All right, go pre-order Beyond Belief.
Yeah, man, do
Today
that.
we're
Super
trying
love
to
it.
chart for Rick Sincere.
We want a shot. I want to see how strong the universe is, man. I would be so happy about that.
Yeah, man. Let's make this a universe win. Let's get on the top
Yeah.
of the chart on iTunes. If you don't have iTunes, pre-order it wherever you can get it.
Do it for the you.
But yes, let's get this thing going, man.
For the you.
Do it for the you.
Go to iTunes right now, search for Rick Sincere, Beyond Belief, and pre-order that right now.
Yeah, man.
Better.
Challenges coming out too.
SPAC challenge.
Yeah, the SPAC challenge is out right now, man. I want to hear the best 16 that you possibly can deliver.
Okay.
If you bring, you got a red snapper, you gonna do that?
Yeah, I'm getting
Dope, man. I can't wait to hear it. Yo, no, seriously, man. I be hearing a lot of people talk about, man, they got bars, man.
Oh, I thought you were about to say
No. I mean, I haven't heard anybody request the red snapper, but I have several times. Either way,
Jason.
yeah, Jason has. But Jason, well, I can't say Jason's name over air. I think he's the Rich or something right now. He's the Rich. He changed it. All right, cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to everybody's bars, man, and I can't wait to add that joint to the spectacular song. You'll be featured with me, Loso, and Jeremiah. I can't wait to drop that joint too, because it'll be a song that we actually release and drop on Spotify. So I can't wait to do that. I'm super excited about it. I want to hear everybody's bars, man. And there's one special little girl who dropped bars on your joint. When she drops hers, I'm done.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, man. So let's get back into it. You in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tan, and DJ Jeremiah. Let go.
squad full of heroes. Yeah. Cause we down for the people. Yeah. Thank God for the Devo. Yeah. Then I'm bobbing the Lilo. Yeah. Fly with the Eagles. Yeah. But still dance with the Penguins. Yeah. And I made with the captions. But no time for the English. Feel like Ziggo, yeah. Time for the get down, yeah. Now feel like Ziggo, yeah. I'm a prophet in this town, yeah. They still throwing with the stones, but they still wanna hear him out, yeah. Cause they loving the song, and I'm still saying God out loud. Still kinda awkward, yeah. Call me Bantu baller, yeah. Kneel to the Father, yeah. In the church of my mother, yeah. They still wanna brag, but we think you tight though, yeah. We the kids that can't get a father alive. Slumdog millionaire, finally got a chance. And you know the whole village calling all of us in vain. We was chilling on the ceiling.
You supposed to be out there at 1?
No. I'm not. Alright, I was at the show, my love. I'm on my way. Bye, baby girl. Bye, my love.
We had 648 viewers on Periscope.
Did you figure out?
They trying to make Cabrera come back? That's the girl at the party, like, yo, remember me?
Yeah, it's not, I want like a digipack or something like that. We're going to digipack.
What's the digipack? Is that like folded?
Yeah, it's folded. But I can show you the layout.
How much is that? Is that much more expensive?
I don't think so.
Because I was going to say, whatever
Can
you
you
do,
come?
you need to order it.
Cool. I'm going to 245. I'm about to try something. Yeah. I'm doing.
Oh, Jason is rich. That's right.
Yeah, Jason is the rich. But I don't know who No Money, Mo Problems is.
I think it's Jason.
Jason has a bunch of aliens.
Not Jason, I mean Damien. I think that's Damien.
Oh, that's Damien? No Money, Mo Problems.
Hey, man.
That's
all I wanted. All I was going to do. I like the right.
Huh? We want it, bro. I'm asking for it and requesting it.
So it's
and asking again. I know the rich ready. The rich always ready.
You gotta do this to Rich, man. He talking mad crazy.
Yeah, drop him,
Reading them communion cup bars. Walk around the church.
Hug everybody.
Chris, it was a video that he made. It was called It was hilarious. I have to see if he still has it on his phone. I will show it to you.
As soon as I find out something about the room, I'll message you on Instagram.
Yes, man. What do you think?
As soon as I find out about a room to get on
Instagram.
Yeah.
That'll be dope, man. Appreciate it, bro.
I said they can't hear us no more.
Yeah, you just hear the radio.
Oh, okay.
Alright, love y'all. Bye, universe. God bless.
Oh. Is it one or the other that they can hear?
They can hear both.
Oh, really? That's what's up.
You alright today, man? I got a family reunion to go to today. So I have to head out as soon as I'm done. But how did everything go on Wednesday? See how you working?
I mean, that's up to y'all.
I want to hear what the 7th round would have been. And it was so close anyway. Just do it, please.
All right, head over to the official Trackstars Universe Facebook page. We're going to do one more round for the official universe. And then we'll be out of here.
My wife like, baby,
see if I can do it on here, actually. Can you pass me?
Couple of days after graduation, how you feel?
Hey, I'm sorry. My guy.